Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Dion's Daily Dose. Today is Sunday, August 2nd, and happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. I got some interesting stuff to share with you today. First of all, I apologize for the lag on my camera. I'm not entirely sure why it's doing that. I didn't have time to get it synced up properly. I don't know, but I plan on mostly sharing stuff with you. Won't be me on the screen very much, so hopefully we won't have any other issues. First of all, Tampa, Florida. Have you seen this? Outside the police station in Tampa, I guess 40 plus people got together, did a Back the Blue painting on the street outside the police station. Hopefully they'll be able to keep that nice. Pretty cool, right? Second of all, this when I went door knocking today, this was at the church where I parked. I know I did not park by the sign. I did sign when we were walking back though. We parked in a different area, and I had to take a picture of it. Obviously, the birds seem to join very much. While I was in Chesterton, I meant to say this earlier, but while I was in Chesterton, here, let me put this back. We had seen some signs in people's windows that have a thumbs up, and it says green on it. And I was like, what is that? And we had spoken to the residents and asked them. Apparently, it was a program that was started in Chesterton, and I actually have the article. It's a program for non-emergency assistance, because that was apparently green thumbs up, everything's good. Red thumbs down, you need assistance. I was like, isn't calling 911 faster, easier? It's not for emergency situations, right? It's to find out to get assistance with other non-emergency things, kind of like 211. Let me show you. It's pretty cool. I will say this. I had heard of, people putting signs, but here is from the Chesterton Tribune, and it dates, but a thumbs up on green if all is well, a thumbs down on red if non-emergency assistance is needed. They give a number. It's not an emergency line, right? But it is intended for folks who have pertinent COVID questions or who are seeking non-emergency assistance of some sort. Here is the types of services that they're talking about, right? We've got Meals on Wheels, Westchester Neighborhood Food Pantry, United Way, Westchester and Liberty Trustees Offices, Utility Services, Opportunity Enterprises, Salvation Army, Dune Corporation for free reduced meal pickup, Jewel Osco, Strachan Van Til grocery delivery and curbside pickup, local taxi services and rideshare, online restaurant delivery services, Walgreens and CVC prescription delivery, Indiana Department of Workforce Development for unemployment, Comcast, HealthLink, and North Shore Health Clinic. I'll give you the link if you want to read the whole thing, but I did find that good information for those who need it, and I think it's a good service. I think it's a good thing. You can see at a glance, people are asking their neighbors, hey, watch out for this, and call the non-emergency line. Let us know that someone would like more information. It's people who need some help, but maybe don't know how to express it or don't even know what kind of help they need. I think it's a good thing. The other thing that I wanted to show you, I got the Thou Shall Not Park sign, which I thought was, personally, I think it's cute. But I also got the bridge that we walked over, this little neighborhood over here. There's a little bridge that leads over a small little Calumet River there, right? Calumet Road over Little Calumet, 1992, bridge number 10692, and it lists, the commissioners, the highway supervisor, and engineers, etc. This is the bridge itself. I'm going to start taking some pictures here and there so that you can see what I'm doing, right? What am I out there doing. I'm knocking doors. I'm meeting people. Today, not a lot of people were home. I actually thought more people would be home Sunday afternoon. It was late enough that, after church, have lunch, and then generally go home. But we didn't encounter a lot of people out today. Thank you, Sean, for coming out with me and knocking doors. For those of you who can see the shirt here, this is from my friend when he was going down to powerlifting competition in Costa Rica, which he won, by the way. But he did a fundraising thing. He had his shirt fold and the back. I'll show you sometime, but it was really cool. It's a nice shirt. I like it. It's really comfortable. I gotta wash my campaign shirt that I wore. It was getting kind of hot out there, right? Sweat, so I gotta put that in the wash. Changed into this and had to go live. But let me show you here if I can find it. There was something else that I wanted to share with you, and I was actually going to do a full thing on this, a full video on this another time, but there's so much out there right now as far as information and misinformation. But something that I wanted to show you, and it isn't a long section, it isn't a long deal. There's a quick excerpt from this, but this is from NPR, and it's about the polio vaccine. And it's something that I think people need to understand. Dave brought this up a while back, and he makes a really good point. If you look at the article, right? The name of the article is "Wiping Out Polio: How the U.S. Left Out a Killer," and it's a good article. It talks about the fight for polio or against polio, and in order to get the vaccine, and it was a horrible vaccine. But here's what I wanted to point to you. Early attempts to develop a vaccine ran into numerous hurdles. A vaccine tested 1,000 children by 2 researchers at New York University provided no immunity and left 9 children dead. Other vaccine trials used volunteers, notice how that's in quotation marks, at mental institutions. At the University of Pittsburgh, Jonas Salk launched what was then the largest human trial in history, injecting nearly 2 million American kids with a potential vaccine. When it was announced that his vaccine worked, Salk was hailed as a humanitarian hero. He doesn't have a patent on it. There is no patent because you patent the sun. Here's the interesting thing, though. This is the interesting. Salk's main rival, Albert Sabin at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, couldn't gain political support in the U.S. he viewed as his superior vaccine. So, at the height of the Cold War, he tested it in the Soviet Union instead. Both Salk's and Sabin's vaccines are still used today, but Sabin's version, which requires just 2 drops in a child's mouth, proved much easier to use in mass immunization campaigns. Sever says this oral vaccine was key to wiping out polio in the world. After all, if you could count to 2, you could be an immunizer. Here's the whole point, ladies and gentlemen, is there are a lot of things that go into vaccines. There are a lot of trials. I'm very concerned about the rush for this vaccine. And I have a family member, it doesn't matter who, but I have a family member who is afraid to leave their home until a vaccine is cleared, right? We don't know how long that's going to be. I directly blame our media for the level of fear that has been pushed forward in this country. Look, this disease, this virus, it does affect people. but let's look at the numbers. Your chances of actually contracting it are not high enough to warrant spending spending the day terrified in your home. Let's just put it that way. And this family member is not of advanced age. They don't have pre-existing health conditions. They're not in the risk category, the high risk category for the virus. But because of the perpetration of the fear, they are essentially locked in their home and say that they won't have anyone in their home or leave their home except in absolute worst cases when they're forced to until a vaccine is widespread. Uh, I want everyone to understand how long vaccines normally take. It is normally a very long, drawn out process that takes years and years and years. Uh, I don't know if expecting a vaccine is a reasonable assumption for this. We won't even get into survival rate and chances of infection and cases and herd immunity and all those other things because it doesn't matter. What matters is banking all of your hopes and dreams on a vaccine that isn't even ready yet. I think, my opinion, is a bad idea. But people are entitled to their beliefs, and the one of the greatest things about this country is the ability to have beliefs, to believe what you want, to say what you want, um, at least to a degree, until cancel culture comes for you. I am sure that it is only a matter of time before cancel culture comes from me too. Uh, but until that time, I will be here every day to talk directly to you. Uh, like I said, we went to Chesterton today and knocked on some doors. A lot of people weren't home, but the people that were home, most were very kind, very nice. You did get a couple of people that were like, "Yeah, you're a politician. Get out of here." I didn't have an opportunity to explain that I'm not actually a politician. I guess here's the question for you, ladies and gentlemen: do I qualify as a politician while I'm running, or only after I get elected? If I've never held a political position before, I don't know. But let's just say I'm not a career politician. Um, so unfortunately, they don't give me a chance to explain that. And the other thing is, I'm going to their home. If they don't want to talk to me, by all means, that's their right. A couple of the people allowed me to leave my card for them. Sure, a couple were like, "Nah, I don't even want that. Get out of here." Okay, by all means. Uh, those are people that generally, I believe, aren't going to be invested in the political process anyway. So more than likely, they're probably not going to go out there and vote, but maybe they are. I don't know. Uh, this this whole this whole thing has been interesting, right? With knocking on doors and making sure that you get your social distancing before people get to the door, and that's how I handle it, right? And just so you know, if I do come to your door and you say, do you have a mask? My answer is I do. Would you feel more comfortable with me putting it on? Because I am at your home on your property. If you want me to wear a mask, I will by all means wear a mask. It's your house. Even if I'm outside. If that's what you want, I will do what you want because I'm a firm believer in personal property. And I'm a firm believer in personal choice and personal rights. If I'm at your home, I'm going to do what you want. But one thing I found, though, that's my personal opinion, the people that want you, that are saying stuff about masks and stuff like that, it seems to come down to they don't want to have the conversation anyway. So it's their way of kind of getting rid of you. And that's fine. Just say, not interested, have a good day. But it is what it is. We were just before I went live, we were measuring Donovan and how tall he is getting. Oh my God, he is at what, 5'6.5" now. He is 1 inch shorter than my wife. He was a preemie when he was born, he was incredibly tiny. I mean, just very, very small. He actually wore doll clothes instead of baby clothes. Even preemie clothes were too small for him. I don't remember the exact birth weight. It was very, very low though. He was very small. And he fit in the palm of my hand. He was just minuscule. And to see him grow to the level that he is now, and he won't stop growing. That's the thing. He his every time we buy him pants, in a few weeks, they'll go all the way down to his shoes. Right here's the top of his shoes. Here's the pants. They're down here, and then in just a week or two, it's like doop, 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 doop. It's like stop growing. But that's when teenagers, right? They never stop growing. They never stop eating. We just had dinner right before I came on live, and the boy eats. So please hire me to be your rep. I need the money to feed my kids. I'm just kidding. Um, it's they do eat a lot though. Kids eat an insane amount. It seems like every time we turn around, they're shoveling more food in their mouths, and it really is just wow. But I would like to do a more in-depth view of the vaccine and for polio and others, right? Where did they start? How did it get to where it is today? Uh, I'm not. I'll let you know, I'm not an anti-vaxxer or someone who believes that all vaccines are bad. We see that the polio vaccine has saved many children from paralysis, and obviously it turned out to be a very good thing, right? I do believe though that you should have the choice as to whether or not you want to have a vaccine or not. As a parent, it is our responsibility to choose that for our children. I'm not a huge fan of widespread mandatory vaccines, especially in something like the current case, COVID, right, with a low fatality rate. I do believe it's a discussion that we can have, though. And I tell you, that's what seems to be what's so wrong in many areas today with the world is it's so hard to actually have an intelligent, non-corrosive conversation with someone without it devolving into name calling and vitriol and hatred. Um, I enjoy a spirited discussion talking about things that are important, right? Because let's face it, how we're going to move forward is very important. And whether it's via social distancing, whether it's that's the other thing that I want to say. All of this emphasis on masks, right? I don't feel like there's nearly as much emphasis on washing your hands, uh, proper intake of vitamins and minerals. It seems like all this focus is on mask wearing and social distancing, is what it is. But I I will tell you that if you elect me, I plan to be just as transparent as I am right now. I'll share as much information as I can with you. I'm doing a breakdown right now of ways that I would have voted in the past several legislative sessions. Right, I'll give you a list of legislation that passed or didn't pass, and tell you if I would have voted or not voted for it. I think this will give you a good idea of where I stand, especially versus my opponent. So, with that, thank you very much for spending some time with me. And I truly do wish all of you the best. Be safe out there. There's some really bad stuff happening in urban areas, right? We're kind of removed from it a little bit here in Chesterton, Michigan City. We don't really see that kind of thing, but it's happening. And I think it's gonna keep happening. I think it's gonna get worse, definitely before it gets better. I'm going to run a couple of banners while I talk to you about some stuff. Um, I need people who can help. I would really want to ramp up the online version, portion of the campaign, phone calls and stuff. Graphic designer, volunteers for door knocking and phone calls. I could use a website administrator, designer, make it a little prettier. If you have a skill, I can definitely use it. Um, Go to my website, sign up, let me know, what you can do. More than happy to put you to work. Uh, if you don't have time, that's okay too. You can also donate, right? I'm still not thrilled with the whole asking people for money thing. I know it's part of running for office, and I know that you need money, right? You need money to win a political campaign. Uh, there's so much stuff though that costs money. You got business cards, you've got uh, your cards that you hand out, your palm cards, right? You've got your signs, your political signs. You've got your ads, whether it's on social media, TV, radio. It takes gas to go to all these places to knock these doors. It takes money, right? But that doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it better, for me to say, yes, by all means, send me your hard earned money instead of spending it on yourself. Uh, I know it's part of it, but I don't think it'll ever get easier for me, just because I don't really like, you know, I'm just not that kind of person, I suppose. But uh, that's part of it, right? If you have a few extra dollars, I truly could use it. I'll put it to good use. More than happy to share what we're doing with the campaign. As a matter of fact, I'm planning on making even the campaign itself very transparent. Show you what we're doing every day, and that's really it. Thank you very much for spending a little bit of almost 30 minutes, 22 minutes of your Sunday with me, or whenever you do get a chance to watch this. So, without further ado, God bless you. God bless India. God bless the U.S. of A.